Hello again. Welcome to another episode of The Sauce. See, I'd like to start off today talking to you about a comment that I made in my first video where I asked whether or not everybody thought I looked better with a beard, without a beard, due to the fact that the first video I shot was really dark. I did not have enough lighting in my dungeon of a room. I decided to wait another day until after the second video came out, because I did get another light, which helps a lot. And yeah, so other than that, kind of just recently had on my mind, a lot of professions that used to exist that don't really exist anymore. Like a scribe. Back in the day, professionally, people used to just kind of like copy books or notes or things that important people wrote down. Particularly like the Catholic Church back in the day used to work a lot with scribing and copying down books and things that had knowledge that they wanted to be passed on to other people. It's not always been the case though. Like that whole evolution thing, like that was a thing that shouldn't have been passed on, right? Evolution, silliness. A cooper. I'm not sure if you remember what a cooper is, but a cooper is somebody who makes barrels for a living. Like the old-fashioned like wooden cask barrels with like the metal rings that you would see in like Pirates of the Caribbean or things like that. Like nobody does that anymore. I've never even once heard of anybody actually having that as a legitimate job. Maybe you actually do that at a vineyard. I'm not sure. I don't own a vineyard. I've never actually been on a vineyard. I've been to like beer factories and things like that and taken tours, but that's about it. Like a town crier, you never see that anymore unless you're in a town with like 10 people in it. You just walk out on the street and somebody's like, "Hey, Obama's starting health care." But a crier goes around and they kind of like announce things that are going on in like Parliament or the government of some variety. Just kind of let you know as the populace what's going on, what the government is deciding to do with your money, things like that. So, apprentices. And I'm not talking Donald Trump's TV show, but a legitimate apprentice, somebody who would spend like every waking hour of their life trying to learn an important skill or craft from somebody who is infinitely more experienced than them. Oftentimes they would live in their house and things like that. It's different than an internship, in my opinion. Some people may view them as the same, like an apprentice, intern, same thing. I don't think so. Intern is much more relaxed, I think. If you fail, whatever. You could try something else. But like an apprentice, like that's your skill. And if you don't learn that, you're screwed. Cobbler. I'm not sure if you know what a cobbler does, but a cobbler makes shoes. They like hand make and do custom shoe work, and they repair shoes. Nowadays, everything you see in stores, it's all like generic stamp, like computer-made, same design for every single foot type of shoe. Which is why like the stores like the Good Foot store or Good Feet, however you want to say it, stores like that exist, is because every single shoe is just like a stamp press thing. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, if you have a foot that is outside of a stamp norm, you have to go and buy an additional thing to put in your shoe, so it ends up costing like twice as much for the same thing of shoes, as somebody else who has like the most basic foot on the planet, apparently. I think that's weird. Why don't we just custom make everybody's shoes? Just throw that into the American government. That'd spark the job market. It's like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, well, you see, me and my 20 friends, we're gonna go open up this shop that just makes shoes every day. Bam, 20 people, and that's just like one city. Like Los Angeles, I guarantee there are people in Los Angeles who would buy the hell out of custom-made shoes. Now, I'm not sure about Kansas or Wyoming or places like that, but I would definitely invest in some custom, well-made shoes that were made in America if somebody opened up a shop. A burnisher is another one. I didn't even know this term until like 2-3 years ago. But a burnisher is somebody who professionally like polishes metal. So they go around to like castles and like town streets and things like that had like metal furnishings on like the edges of stores, and they would just like polish them so that they wouldn't like rust or deteriorate. They just keep them in good working order, and that was a legitimate job back in the day. Now everything's kind of like galvanized, so that's not really a thing thing anybody really cares about. But I've always just kind of thought that was really humorous. I'd never thought of that ever being a job. Just like one of my friends designs plastic cups for a living. I never thought that was a thing, but it is. And if you think about it, like every single thing you see, CD cases, movie trailer posters, every single thing that has words or is colored or anything like that, somebody does that around the world. So if you're ever thinking, oh, there's just not enough jobs around me, we just, there's nobody hiring, like, no, it's not that there's nobody hiring, you're just not looking in a wide enough variety of jobs. Like, think of that. Just be like, well, I do know how to use Photoshop. Maybe I could get a job somewhere in the area designing a label or some random product that, nobody, maybe like 1 to 10 people see, a year, type of thing. What's another one? Tailors. I almost never hear of or even see anybody being a legitimate tailor anymore. That would like hand make and repair any sort of like clothing or attire that you wanted. Like if you wanted a cool looking jacket, you would go in and you would talk to a tailor about what you wanted, and then they would custom make that for you. Why is that not a thing anymore? Back in the day, like 150, 200 years ago, you could not go anywhere without seeing somebody who was wearing a piece of tailored clothing. Like, I don't know. Everything now, same thing with the shoes, it's kind of like made in a stamped form, which doesn't make sense. Like I've never met a single other person in the world who has the same body type as me, and I guarantee that's the same thing for you. Everybody is completely different. The height of like their midsection to their hips, the length of their legs, everything completely different. And you just have this like generic crap type clothing that you buy for like $10. Like that doesn't make sense. Like why not have somebody make the custom stuff for you for like twice that amount, but then you could wear it forever because it fits you perfectly. If you're a larger individual like myself and you ever have difficulty like finding pants that fit, I'd suggest like St. John's Bay. It's like a JCPenney's thing, specific just to JCPenney's. They have like I don't know what it is. They like do their pant legs differently, but like they fit like fat people's thighs and like hips and things like infinitely better than any other pair of pants I've ever found in my life. And they make your butt look good. So consider that, fat people. Consider that. You probably all have heard of Kellogg, which is a company that makes like cereal. But back in the day, like really, really long time ago back in the day, a Kellogg was actually a term to refer to somebody who slaughtered pigs. I probably will never get that out of my mind anytime I'm ever buying a thing of Frosted Flakes again. But, I don't know. Now that I think about it, the next time I eat Frosted Flakes, I'll probably be thinking about that, and then maybe my Frosted Flakes will taste like pork or bacon. And if it tastes like bacon, it's got to be good. So, I'm kind of down for that, to be honest. This has been another episode of The Sauce. Thank you for tuning in. If you'd like, you're kind of bored, maybe, click on the side thingy over here, click another video, maybe one of my other ones, that'd be cool. Like, subscribe, click that little button up there, leave a comment or a troll comment, and I guess have a fantastic day in general, and I'll see you later. Alrighty, let's see how that turned out. Oh, crap, it's still recording.